I'm Vicky Benzing, and this is Why I Fly. I have been flying for 41 years. I actually worked in Silicon Valley. I was in technology. We made the equipment that companies use to make the computer chips. I retired early from that industry so that I would be young enough to pursue flying. So I fly professionally now. I fly in air shows. I race at Reno. And I fly in movies. Now I'm living the dream. Oh gosh, I fly all kinds of things, but I fly this Extra 300 and the 1940 Boeing Stearman, a Lancer Legacy, Carbon Cub, and a King Air, L-39, L-139. I fly anything I can get my hands on. I can't answer which is my favorite because, you know, it's like asking which is your favorite child. This is a pure aerobatic plane. It does plus or minus 10 Gs. The Stearman is a vintage airplane. It was used to train the cadets in World War II. Other planes that I fly have more specific missions, like getting someplace in the weather. Each one does something a little bit different, and they complement each other, so that's, I think, why you have to have more than one. My uncle flew. He was bigger than life to me. He flew in the Reno air races in the 60s. He flew air shows. But it wasn't something that I thought that I could do as a young girl. There just weren't any role models as a young woman. It wasn't until I was in grad school and one of my friends asked me to go skydiving, and I just knew that I wanted to be up in the air longer than the parachute would let me, and that's when I decided that I needed to learn to fly. I learned aerobatics while I was learning to fly, and I fell in love with aerobatics. I fell in love with being upside down. To me, it's sort of the ultimate flying. Flying aerobatics is expressing yourself in 3 dimensions. The loops and rolls and hammerheads and half Cubans, it's exhilarating and thrilling, and at the same time, it demands really fine flying skills. Speed loads can be quite high and sustained. That big red beast back there, that Stearman, is pretty heavy on the stick. I pretty much fly my whole routine with two hands. Really kind of gotten into weight training because that helps me so much with the aerobatics. There were not a lot of women when I started flying. You would rarely hear a woman's voice on the radio. Certainly women make wonderful pilots. In fact, the few aerobatic female pilots there are among the best. People like Patty Wagstaff, who was one of the early women in aerobatics, who was a role model for me as well. It's wonderful to hear a woman's voice on the radio now, and you hear a woman's voice quite often.